Hi friends, this is Barb Pask. I'm here to paint for you today. I'm going to do a little one of 5x7. These are some panels that I had used before that I bought recently from Dick Blick. Trying to read the name. Jack Richardson or Jack Richardson. I bought a whole bunch of 5x7s. Looked over the sales from this past year, and most of the ones I sell I think are smaller ones, so ordered 20 of these. My plan is to paint these 20 canvases intermittently, and hopefully sell them. I sell a painting like this. They'll be on my website when they're dry enough to ship, but you can always message me if you're interested in them sooner. I sell them for $55 and $5 shipping. That's if you're in the continental U.S. I haven't had great luck shipping out of the States, so I'm not real open to that. But they just, need time to dry. But always feel free to message me if there's something you really like before I, get it posted on my website. I mentioned to you last time about a book that I have by Helen Van Wyck. I did dig that out to show you. Helen Van Wyck's Favorite Color Recipes. It's a good book. Not sure when it came out. She's been dead quite a few years. It says the edition copyright was 2000, first published in 1996. But it's a good book. If you struggle with color mixing, it gives you some places of where to begin. She tells you how she mixed brass, for example. Talks about brushwork, wrinkles in the face, still life. She covers portraits and still life, how she even paints like blonde hair, the colors that she uses, the steps that she takes. It's a good book. Like I say, sometimes, if you're painting something unusual, copper, brass, something like that, you can really struggle with even just where to begin. She may not use the same palette that you use, but I think if you can locate it, you might be able to purchase it off of eBay. I found another book that I have by her too called Welcome to My Studio. And that's a good book too. I need to get these out and look at them more. I have quite the collection of books. I really did like her. She was a good artist and very quick and nice representational artist. So anyway, what I'm planning to do today is I went back to the thrift store. You recall probably I did a pair of red high heels. Let me spin you around and show you. I bought another pair. Kind of a satin navy. So I'll have to look for the shiny spots on them. The inside is kind of a metallic gold. So that's my plan. I'm going to go horizontal with it. The last time I did it bigger on an 8x10 and I went vertical. So I used my view catcher and looked through that. I set it up for the approximate size of this canvas, and I looked through that for my composition. It does have some, it doesn't have this particular type size canvas on here, but there are some notations for 9x12, 11x14, 8x10, but it doesn't have a 5x7. So I just kind of, went through and I set it up for what looked correct to my eye, and that's what I'm looking through. If you're new, welcome. I do have some new subscribers. I'm out of Ohio, full-time artist. I use water mixable oils, which may be new to you, but they're just oils. Normally I just thin down my paint and that's how I sketch. Someone asked me the other day if I sketch with a pencil. I have done that. On rare occasions I might do that. But we'll try it my usual way and we'll see how it goes. So What I'm doing is I'm looking at the outside shape around the shoes. That kind of helps you set things up, that negative shape to kind of place things. And there's a few ways you could do this. I mean, I could just put a wash on it, and I could go in and wipe out my drawing, which I do that sometimes. I have no idea what size these are. Doesn't matter. I was just looking for sexy shoes. It's always fun to people watch. I got in line to pay for these the other day behind a gentleman that we were standing there a while, so I was just kind of taking him all in, and he had denim shorts and sandals, which is common. It is summertime. And he had a cowboy hat on and a bandana. Of course, that's his mask. And then he had a dress shirt on with a pinstripe men's long sleeve dress shirt opened at the cuff, and the collar was pulled up. And then he had on a pleather vest. Remember those, like a faux leather? So, yeah, I don't know. Interesting guy, right? Denim shorts, sandals, and then the long sleeve shirt and the vest, like I said, and the cowboy hat. Okay, let me kind of focus on what I'm doing here. You can see, as I probably can, the toe of that has got to come out. Went out and painted yesterday in Loveland, Ohio. Charming little town, about a half-hour away from me. Lots of cute buildings, and I usually go for I like to paint buildings. So that's usually where you'll find me, down in town. Some people head out to the river. And I talk to a lot of people, which is always nice, and sold my painting. A guy, I was pretty far along at it, he said, I think I'm interested, I'll message you, send me the finished painting when you get done, and yeah, he wants it, so that's just wonderful. You know, that's really great. We got some beautiful weather right now here in October. I mean, in October, Ohio. Poor people out west with the fires and hurricanes down south. Gosh. And we adjust the whole time we paint, so some people require very little of a sketch. I think it depends on what I'm painting. But I will keep adjusting, as you'll see. I'll adjust as I'm applying the color for the shoes, and then I can adjust it more when I paint the background in to get my drawing where I need it to be. And I just threw together some ultramarine blue and some crimson, so it doesn't really matter. Just some transparent, a transparent kind of dark mixture. The last shoes I did were really fun, you know, red. I like painting red for one thing. And they had the bows on the front. Right now I'm seeing shadows behind them. We'll decide if we like that or not. That's probably enough information to get going. All right, I'm going to take my palette knife and I'm going to mix up some blues. We'll start with ultramarine. Now we got some areas we'll have to just really look closely here because they are one color and we're going to have to look for value very close. So I'm mixing some of my transparent red oxide in there to come up with something for my darkest darks. That's very dark. Okay. With them being fabric, there's no, like with the red shoes, they were kind of a slick surface, and I had some really bright, almost white highlights on them. These are fabric, so I don't. My lightest lights are not that light. All right. My brushes are Rosemary & Company, which are Rosemary are excellent brush if you want a really good brush. And we'll just try to look here and block in the darkest darks that I see. We might jump back and forth. I don't have any plans from shoe to shoe. We'll see. Like I said, I may need to adjust the drawing too. We'll do that as we go. You know, I don't have a definite plan when I start out, but we may find we want to even throw in some unexpected blues or green, or I don't know. You know, we want it to be interesting, so. I'm going to even take a little crimson and some blue inside this toe is a very dark area, and I'm pulling it a little warmer with the crimson. It's fun looking at all these shoes. You know, it's not shoes that I would wear, but I was looking, there was some rubber boots too. There was I thought about buying a few pairs of those. There was some pink ones, and there was a little children's pair of yellow boots that had a little loops on the side that you would have held on to pull them on. I thought those are pretty cute. This heel feels wrong to me, but I'm not worried about that yet. I've said it before, but for me, painting's like a puzzle. You block in the colors, values, shapes that you see. So it can look pretty abstract for quite a while. Yeah, use whatever you have to help you draw. I mean, I'm always looking like how much space from here to here, how much space from here to here. I think we'll switch over to the other shoe. I like working from life. If you're new to my channel, I really like still lifes. I like to set them up, decide my composition, and put a light on them so I can decide where I want my shadows and highlights. Nothing better than painting a still life. Anybody that's a good artist usually spend a good part of their career painting still lifes. I've said it before, but you know, all the information you need is there. I don't use a medium. I do use a little water occasionally to thin down if I feel like I need it. Working with a pretty big brush. We may have to switch off at some point. Just looking at the shape of that. kind of a crisscross pattern on the toe. I'm going to mix up something for the inside. It's gold, very shiny right in here where it's catching light. So I'm going to take, I use a limited palette, by the way, a warm and cool of blue, red, and yellow, and white, and then I do have transparent red oxide and Indian yellow I have added to my palette. But if you're new and you're thinking about starting out, consider just staying with the limited palette, a warm and cool of each primary and white, and stay with it for a long time and learn to mix color. All right, I'm mixing up some Cad Yellow Medium, and I threw some Indian Yellow in there too. Now, we'll go from there. I'm going to put a little transparent red oxide in it to warm it up. I'm going to add a little white for the brightest area to bring it up lighter yet. I mean, you can really throw about any color down and pull it any way you want. Greens are always tricky, I'm always saying that, and just if you're trying to do an unusual green, just mix up a pile of green. Just start with whatever, ultramarine and Cad Yellow Medium, it doesn't matter. Get a pile of green on there, then start studying it and trying to decide if it needs to go warmer or cooler or lighter or darker, and then just start adjusting it from there. I mean, you can, it's amazing. It might take some doing, but what you can do to pull, you know, one color way into another color. All right, let's start looking at the inside of these shoes a little bit. And a lot of times I tone the background first, which I did not do today. I tone frequently with an orange color. And I consider myself an impressionist. I say that over and over. So I'm not trying to get a photo likeness of this. I'm trying to do an impression of this. This is my impression of these shoes. It may not be how you want to paint. I just enjoy paint, and I enjoy impressionism, you know. I enjoy stepping back and it looks like the object, and you step close and it's really almost abstract, and this is the area that's very bright. But if you're new to painting, try to find some objects that you enjoy. I mean, I think it helps if you're excited about what you're painting. I like antiques, so you'll see me paint a lot of old primitive items too. Check out my website too. I'll put the link in the description box. It's just barbarapass.com, but I've got everything on there. I just like painting everything. I'm going to go to a somewhat smaller brush. Now I can see into the toe there, and it kind of, color and value wise, kind of falls in between those. And sometimes you have to do something different than what you actually see to make sense, so people understand what they're looking at. We'll probably get a smaller brush out later, right on the tip of that toe. It's catching, you know, and again, let's see. Like I've still got some phthalo blue out here, a little tiny bit I used for, oh, I made a really interesting green door the other day when I painted out, you know, just to make it more interesting. You know, we'll pull some of that in maybe. All right, let's look at the other shoe inside. I kind of have some light coming from this way too because I've got a window right there. So it's not quite as bright as that, but I've got some light coming in. Looking at the shape of the shoe as I'm doing this. The side. Some real little suggestion of printing there. I don't know if we'll worry with that or not. Switch off again. Get a little crowded. And we'll adjust the outside shape of these as we paint in the background. And some bright light there and down in there. We'll see what that reads like. We'll be getting our little liner brush out too to help us with some of this detail. We're going to get the background painted in and then we'll look at these again. All right, as far as background color, I've got you know, if you really want them to pop, then you kind of go with the complement. Excuse me. You know, they're cool shoes. If you really want them to pop off of there, you'd probably want to go with a warm background. I want to keep it light, but I'm just going to go with a grayed background, which I frequently do, and I'm doing that by mixing the three primaries. Blue and yellow, I've made a green, and now we're going to throw red in it. And even though it will be a gray, you can pull it, you know, to a warm gray or a cool gray. Again, with the shoes being blue, maybe we'll want to keep it a warmer gray. We got to get that shadow in there first, though. And keep in mind the shadow is on that surface, so we'll see what this looks like. It may or may not stay, but right now I'm seeing a shadow back there. Now I don't feel like that's light enough. I want to go lighter. Now's our chance. I might just around these shoes go with a smaller brush. Now's our chance to really think about the shape of these shoes. See what we see here. And when you paint wet into wet like I do, you're going to pick up, you're going to pick up color and pull it into your background. If that bothers you, maybe, you would want to paint in layers. It doesn't bother me. Okay, now here's a chance to look between these shoes at this negative space and see how things look. I cut into that too far. It's okay, we can fix it. See, I cut into that shoe a little bit too much. Not to worry, everything can be fixed. Now that's a little closer into value. This right here, I don't want to be so close that this doesn't stand out. So we're going to pull this a little cooler. I want you to see that heel, so. switch back to our other brush. We got to do some adjustment there, I can see that. Got it covered. Now let's see what we need to adjust. All right. Phone is ringing. About all we get are telemarketers. I sometimes wonder why we've got a house phone. You probably feel the same way. You can see how splayed out this brush is. I do have better brushes. It's the first time I've cleaned a brush, but I use water for cleanup, which is the reason I went to these, because they're a lot less toxic. I'm not dealing with solvent, but they are oils. They do work like oils and dry like oils. Just in the shape of that shoe. Let's go back to our little liner brush again. And this may seem like a lot of detail considering I say I'm an impressionist, but I think you need some. I mean, everything can't be completely soft and unexplained. bigger brush. Looking at this, trying to decide that comes down and pretty much straight down there. Heel's a big deal. We got to get that right. Still feel something's off right there. Let's see. I think it's the width of the shoe right here. Looking at my negative shape. I'm looking at this shape in here. Something still feels off. Alright, I did this the last time I painted the red ones, but I'm wiping out the heel because something feels wrong to me. Let's look at the shape of this shoe. A little narrow in there. Comes down. Okay. Let's look at the side of this. Almost squares off right there. So I don't think I had that right. These are why still lifes are so good for you. I mean, it's, you know, put your drawing skills to the test. gotta put that gold back in. It's just didn't feel right. And I'm kind of cooling off the shadows. All right, let's see if we can do something about that heel now. You know, excuse me. It's a nasty little stick, but I use this sometimes. With oil paints, you can carve into them. Like if you're outside and you're doing fence post, you can, and you got your canvas covered, you know, you can carve into them, which is nice. All right, so let's look at where this heel goes. Comes up. I don't really have anything to carve into here because I wiped it off, didn't I? But trust me, it works. Like, watch. You know, you can kind of set yourself up and then come back and paint in, and you can sign your name with it. A lot of people with oil paints, they scratch their name in. All right, I lost my dirty little liner brush. Where'd it go? Wow. Yeah, I lost that brush. Oh, there it is. Couldn't have went far, right? I'm not sure how I feel about that. Kind of suggesting this crisscross pattern that I'm seeing on the toe. You know, we could suggest the printing in there if we wanted. If I thought it added anything to it, I don't know. All right, let's get back to that stupid heel. Let's see if we can get it in. Fix that. All right, how far out does this go? It's out there. All right, let's look at this negative space between. Watch, I'll probably end up right where I was. How far down on the shoe does the heel come? Let's look at that. Comes about right there. Assuming my drawing is correct. never know what's going to be the most challenging part of a painting, you know. It's always something. I've been really close to it the whole time. Usually if you get up and move away, it kind of helps you. Very bright there. Which may or may not work, we'll decide. You know, and again, you know, you could do whatever you wanted with these. It's, you know, if you wanted to throw an unusual color in, even like I mixed a little yellow into that phthalo, you know, which pulls a little more green. I'm a fan of T.W. Mundy, and I've got a couple of his videos, and he talks about doing something unexpected in every painting. Unexpected color, expected brush stroke, something that you just wouldn't expect to find in there. He likes to do that. And you could do that. I mean, you could, I don't know if we'll like it, but for example, you know, wherever you want the eye to go, you know, I don't know, put a little red in there, let's see. You know, that's really unusual. There is no red to be found, but I just threw a little bit of it in there. You could take a palette knife and hit something really heavy. Sometimes things like that make a painting very interesting. All right, I think we're about there. I'm looking at my drawing mostly to see how things feel. You know, you can pick at it forever. They say, when is a painting done? You know, it's just when everything that needs fixed is fixed. Or then there's the joke about it takes two artists to do a painting, one to paint it, and one to tell them when to stop. You probably heard that. Some people don't know when to stop. That is true. I did a workshop with Sarah Sedgwick a couple years ago, very good artist. down in Raleigh, and I asked for feedback because you're always curious, you know, how they see you. And one thing she said, which I thought was nice, that she felt like I knew when to quit. Some people, if you gave them, you know, 4 or 5 hours, they would never stop on their painting. Even if they felt like they were done, they would never stop. You know, but I did quit. I, you know, was walking around, and I say you can paint it to death. You know, you keep going too long and you ruin it. All right, we're going to sign this puppy. Not sure it's done. I may go back. Find me on Facebook, Barbara Pask Fine Art. When I think it's done, I'll probably post it there. All right, I talked about this last time, where to sign. I'm seeing a little tweak here. The nose of this shoe, I'm just and I see a reflection up in there. So I say they're never done, are they? You just stop. All right. Anyway, I tend to sign on this side, but it depends on the painting, and it will tell you where you need to sign. I said that last time. Don't sign too low. There have been occasions where I signed at an angle even, it just felt right. But I want to get it high enough not to cover it if someone frames it. This is kind of a tricky one, really. You know, I could sign along the shoe, but I'm going to keep it up here by the shoe. Hopefully not too low. I've heard artists have big discussions about where to sign and how to sign, and I only sign my last name. But I have a simple name. All right. We're going to call it. Once I get away from it and go to looking at it, there may be some things. I feel like this angle, just to make the shoe more attractive, needs to come down a little bit. So there'll be some things. So look for me and look for the finished painting. It took 1 hour and 10 minutes. Let me get up and I'll show you the painting. They're tricky. These little high heels are challenging, and this is definitely little because this is only a 5x7. Take you in. See, I threw a little bit of red in there. Yeah, I can see the little something here I got to work on. I got to make that a little more elegant. There's the actual heels. So I hope you enjoyed watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, and leave me a comment. I always really enjoy those. And if you hit that little notification bell, they'll notify you when I post a new video. Thank you so much for joining me, taking the time to watch. I do appreciate that. You have a good day. Bye-bye.